West will lead us in our prayer, and Mr. Upton will lead us in the pledge.
Father, we thank you for all the many blessings in life you've given us. Pray, Father, any decisions we make tonight have a positive impact on the school system. Pray for students, teachers, and support staff, and may we continue to have a safe and healthy school year. Pray for the sick in our community. Special prayers, Father, for Mitchell Bowles and Evan Hayes. May they be restored with good health. We ask your blessings on Brother Todd Upton, who's able to be here with us tonight. And we hope you keep your healing hands on him. May he continue to have good health. Most of all, Father, we thank you for Jesus Christ and the sacrifice he made on the cross. Guide, guard, and direct us in everything we do. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Certainly want to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. Appreciate everyone's attendance. We'll move into item 3 on the agenda. Approve the minutes of the July 9, 2026 regular session as received. Motion by Ms. Weir, seconded by Mr. Henson. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4, approve the agenda for the August 13th, 2026 regular session. They did add one school trip from the first agenda that you received electronically, but this is the same.
Motion to accept.
Motion by Ms. Sherrill, second by Ms. Weir. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Brings us to our public comment period. Have we got anybody signed for a public comment period? Item 6, approve the school budget amendment for beginning fund balance for July 1st, 2026. We started doing this last year.
Yeah.
This was something that was required by law for us to do and send to the commission as well now annually. And it basically is shows how we've closed out and what our fund balance is after June 30th, 2026, and what we begin for July 1, 2026. One thing I wanted to bring to your attention, the last few years we've been very fortunate, and obviously we've had some very good fiscal management by Ms. Monroe and Ms. Ashley as well. And so we've had some fortunate times, but as we talked about in our last budget cycle, the next few years will be a lot leaner. So one thing that I would call your attention to is about the 5th line down there, that general purpose school capital outlay, going from $500,000 to $1 million. What that does, since we've been fortunate to have been able to add to our fund balance, that takes $500,000 and restricts it to some capital outlay projects going forward in the future. We know with the age of our high school building, it won't be long before we'll have to put a roof on, things of that sort. The geothermal's been an issue from day one. That will be something to be considered. A lot of the AC units at the K8 were put on at the same time as well. And so when you have a lot of days like today, it doesn't take long for those to need some work. So since we were fortunate enough to be able to put some money to the fund balance in a positive nature, we have restricted, or I would ask that we pass this amendment here to restrict an additional $500,000 to at least allocate some funds toward those special projects that we know are coming up. I think it would be wise for us in the next few months anyway to sit down and discuss maybe a 5-year plan as well, and evaluate some of those capital projects. But I think it's prudent for us to plan for the future for those capital projects, and that sets a little bit more money aside for that. So, that's the only thing that would be different than what we did last year.
Make a motion to approve the amendment.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Sherrill, seconded by Mr. Melton. Any discussion? Was that all clear as mud? That's kind of what I work in every day, and I know not everybody does that, so. Give me a motion on the floor by Mr. Sherrill, seconded by Mr. Melton. No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 7, consider purchase for Savas Success Reading Intervention Program, 1 year for all students in grades K through 8. And then for our benefit, we have some quotes for comparison with Savas, Imagine Learning, IXL, and Instructure. Again, Savas is our existing curriculum adopted from the Tennessee Department of Education, and there are no new implementation costs. Anybody, Miss Misty? Anybody want to address this?
So this was originally purchased in a bundle when we adopted our ELA curriculum. It was approved by TDOE 6 years ago. Since then, the law changed, and Tennessee annotated to extend the lifespan of a textbook cycle from 6 years to 9 years. So we're now in that gap where each of the next two, this year plus the next 2 years, we would have to make a decision whether to stay with what we adopted 6 years ago or choose something else. So that's why you have not had to purchase this since 6 years ago, but now that we're in that gap, before the next adoption, it's a year-to-year purchase now. We reviewed this with the principals in the spring as we looked at usage reports and gains of students across each grade band, each elementary school. And the consensus from our spring analysis and from our teacher poll was that they would like to stay with Success Maker. We already have it for math, so this is the reading component that they would use during intervention times. What they like about it the best is that it adapts to student abilities. So if a student needs more help in one area but not in another, that pathway adapts for each student that logs in each time they log in. And they use it roughly 150 minutes a week between reading and math. And we only utilize it during intervention time. Does anybody have any questions?
So the recommendation would be to stay with our current provider for this.
We would like to for the upcoming, for this current school year, and then reevaluate each spring, because we'd like to look at what gains the students are making. But currently, this is based on Tennessee standards. It matches both the reading and math curriculums, and it adapts to student needs. So those are the major benefits that we like of it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And you have quotes from all those providers there. And the cost is relatively similar.
This is just gonna be for 1 year.
1 year, yes, sir.
I make a motion, we stay with the Success Maker.
Motion by Mr. Sherrill,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Webb. Any discussion?
That's quote number 1.
Yes, sir, quote number 1. That's our current service provider. If no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8. 8 and 9 come with a story, but we'll start with 8. Approve the emergency purchase of 2 compressors, contactors, and a low-pressure switch for Clay County High School Gym Unit Number 2, retroactive to July 14th, 2026. 9, approve the emergency purchase of a Bausch 30 ton geothermal unit to replace unit number 1 in the Clay County High School gym, retroactive to August 7th, 2026. Going back, I know some of you were there and probably remember, but we've had some trouble with our AC units in the gym. Going back to graduation, we were down to 1 at that time. We knew 1 wasn't working, and it was going to be a monumental task, not only to get to it, but to fix it. It was pretty, it wasn't something that they normally see. It wasn't just a compressor. So we were down to 1 unit, and then subsequent to that, and an evaluation of that, how to best proceed to replace that unit, to fix that, the other unit went down. So, I think that was June 23rd, I believe, the second unit that we're referencing in item number 8 went down. After an evaluation there, 2 compressors and contactors and a low pressure switch for that unit would fix it. You can see the quote there was about $32,000, a little over. I think $32,230 to fix that unit. So as to not drag anything out and to have AC in the gym by the first day of school, the decision was made at that point to fix that unit with 2 new compressors. Subsequently then, after further evaluation of the first unit that went down, the best course of action there was to replace that unit entirely. Again, that was an executive committee decision. And you have with item number 9, again, that's reference to unit 1 with the memo from Ashley documenting those decisions there as well. Rather than wait and bid and seek bids and put it off further because of the delay in time that it takes to get the unit, again, the executive committee decided that would be the best course of action, not to wait. Good Lord willing, with that proactive decision, hopefully we'll have a unit in the gym, have 2 functioning units in the gym by basketball season. We have 1 working now. As of the start of school, they had a few bugs to work out, but it is working at the high school. And then hopefully by the start of basketball season, if we don't delay, we'll have another fully functional unit at the gym. You guys know the trouble we've had with the geothermal system, but both of those units went down relatively at the same time. So again, to not bid, we felt pretty good about it by quotes that we received just on the equipment for the unit itself. Carwall was gracious enough and have been gracious enough to help us out when they replaced the compressor in unit number 2 there. So they know the geothermal system as well as anyone, right, wrong, or indifferent. They've been there quite a bit for us. Some might even say that they're partially to blame because they were there from the beginning. But nevertheless, we did those 2 things from an executive committee standpoint, and I would ask that we could approve those individually tonight. Obviously, we wanted to bring those to your attention because, again, number 8 was about $32,230. Number 9 will be, I hadn't got everything in order yet, I hadn't paid for it yet, but about $85,000 or so, a little more
I think
maybe.
it's on there, I think it's 81 something.
81,000.
He's,
Yeah, well, 81,000 for item number 9, 32,000 for item number 8 on our agenda. And so, but that,
We did call Alan Hill, which is from Design, and Justin Newell with Mappin Waffles. And they both come back with the recommendation that they thought that we would have to do an emergency purchase because of the lead time of like 10 weeks to get the unit in. So they said for a timely manner, if you want to do this, that's what they recommended doing, instead of waiting until this meeting to seek, bids, and then the next meeting to approve them, and then it would have been 10 weeks from then. So it was gonna take them some time to write the specs and stuff for it, so they said, since you're not changing the unit, you know what the unit is you need. They contacted the companies direct, and it was the 65 number, and Carlisle was 66 for a break apart one that can come in 3 pieces and go up there. So,
So it'll be the same tonnage of unit.
yes, both of them will, yeah.
There was one quote, I think, that was for a 25,000 ton unit, they didn't make it 30, but the price was even still, so.
Yeah.
That's a tight spot.
It is a tight
It's a very
spot.
tight spot.
So that was part of the consideration, being able to get it, where it needs to go there to begin with, so. Number 8, motion by Mr. Lynn to approve number 8, agenda item number 8, second by Mr. West. Any discussion on item number 8? Replace the 2 compressors. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Brings us to item 9.
So the 65,000 is only for, it's not installation included, that's just the unit.
That's just the cost of the unit.
85 would be everything.
Yeah, 85.
81,500.
Yeah.
What was the amount on the, unit 2, is it the 32,000?
32,230.
Not the 33.
32,230.
We were replacing one and repairing.
We've replaced one, or will replace one, and we repaired one, yes, sir. This one that we're replacing, the coils were damaged so bad, that, it was beyond repair.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the 30 ton.
Motion by Mr. West, seconded by Ms. Weir. Any discussion?
I'm sure I'm assuming that's a warranty, 5 year, 10 year.
Yeah, I look at 5 year, I believe.
It has 5-year compressor, 1-year parts and labor.
So,
Then we have a motion on the floor by Mr. West, seconded by Ms. Weir. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 10, consider a private easement for 916 Clay County Highway property owner to place a natural gas line around the border of Clay County High School property map. You have a copy of that proposed easement and line running to our neighbor there just to the north at the Clay County High School. He had requested basically an easement so that he could have natural gas line ran to his house, to give him a secondary option for heat. Additionally, one thing that we have the option of considering, along with this, you can see where it's gonna run. And Ms. Monroe spoke, and I know Ashley did as well, with the natural gas company. And so they're gonna bring it right there just to the edge of the fence. It will not impact, just a few months ago, we had the Soil Conservation Service rock that ditch there to the side of the high school to control some erosion issues we were having. It will go right up to that point. It will not impact that project at all. But if we were to commit to them running, the gas company running a 2-inch line along that same line there, they would stub out an option for us that we could hook onto in the future. That would cost us $625, to my understanding. They'll run the line all the way to there, to that corner, and then if we so choose in the future, either as an alternative or to go away from our geothermal system, whatever, if we choose to use natural gas for $625, we could have a line to that point on the map. Then to run to the gym, I think they have estimated about 190 feet that we would be responsible for to tie into the building there. So that would give us some options in the future. It's about $3,600, but if we're willing to tell them to do that, they'll pay $3,000 of the cost. And so for $600, we can have a line stubbed out there for our future use. And so we'll, provide this easement, to the property owner.
Coming back here, right?
Yes, sir. And the way they've got the line ran there and projected, it should be very minimal impact to, our facility over there. In years past, we've had a golf course driving range, in that area, and it wouldn't impact that in the least.
That doesn't mean it'll get used properly or as much unless we lose this field. I hear you.
Right.
As close as it is to the line, it's nothing to be built on,
Right.
or close to it.
We do that.
And they will make sure everything's up to code and make sure it's all fixed back.
And only
So-
done during fall break too.
Okay, not during
Yeah,
school.
not during school.
Okay.
So,
Make a motion.
you make Mr. Henson, second. Mr. Henson made a motion for the easement. And does that include, potential $625 for our, expansion? Motion by Mr. Henson, seconded by Ms. Weir. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 11, consider the 2026-2027 fall winter sports non-faculty volunteer head coaches. You have a copy of those non-faculty volunteer coaches in your packet. One for Clay County High School football and one for Hermitage Springs school girls basketball.
So pass the background check and training.
Yes,
You recommend them?
I do.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. West, seconded by Ms. Weir. Any discussion?
Who was the Mr. Jason Morris? I mean, no one sure.
Yeah, I think he's from Wilmington County.
Come on.
I think he is. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's from Wilmington County. Rob, you know
Sorry.
Mr. Jason,
Morris.
He's one that Coach Lamb has asked to be assistant football coach.
I think he's from White.
from Pike County, okay?
You have a motion on the floor by Mr. West, seconded by Ms. Weir. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, consider the following trip request. A, Clay County High School FFA to Indianapolis for National Convention from October 21st to the 23rd, 2026. B, Clay County High School FFA to Camp Plymouth for leadership workshop from November 20th to the 21st, 2026. C, Clay County High School boys basketball to Pigeon Forge High School for a tournament from December 28th to the 30th, 2026. D, Clay County High School FFA to Gatlinburg for the state convention from March 21st to 24th, 2027. E, Clay County High School softball to Gulf Shores, Alabama for a tournament from March 28th to the 31st, 2027. And F, Clay County High School FFA to Camp Clements for a leadership camp from June 28th through July 2nd, 2027. You have copies of all those applications and requests in your packet as well. Motion by Ms. Weir. Second by Mr. Lane. You boys sure? Everybody sure about that? Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 13, consider the following policy on first reading. A, revised policy 2.200, annual operating budget. We discussed this briefly, last month. This is another policy, that we have to amend, based on Tennessee state law changes with TCA code that were, passed effective July 1st. This will impact the timing, of our budget process when they have to back it up, a month or so, in order to, get our budget to the county commission. So we're still, even now, that puts more on Ashley, but we're still operating on, estimates, to close out the year anyway. But still, that may push us back just a little bit, but at the end of the day, we don't really have any choice as it is a TCA, change, so.
Make a motion to approve the
Motion by Mr. Sherrill, seconded by Mr. West. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 14, consider the following policies on second reading, again, A through CC. You guys don't want to hear me read all that. This is second reading for all those. Most all those were a result of, again, state law changes as well. Either that or to conform with our current MOU in regards to time off, etc. Motion by Mr. Weir, second by Mr. West. Any discussion?
Item G,
Yes, sir.
digital devices, is that a local decision or it's required by the state, or do we have
I do believe that one was impacted by the state law change. It is a new policy. There was some discussion,
a law on that?
they did, and the,
But does it leave any local choice about the matter? That's my question.
some, I know from a state law standpoint, the initial, proposal was not followed. It was a lot more, restrictive, the initial proposal, but it did give us some leeway here. That's about 10 pages in there as far as, but it is new policy for us.
This is K through 5.
K through 5, yeah. There was some discussion on completely limiting, I think K through 3 at one point. But this does give us, some leeway here. I think there was some discussion, probably at in-service as well, from our, legal counsel. He feels that it may be more restrictive in the future than the policy you have in front of you. But again, this is, from TSBA in accordance with the state law that was passed.
It says director of school shall provide guidance to staff and appropriate use of technology, so you can control that in a way.
Well, our school board attorney did the instruction on it at in-service, as he does all the new laws.
But as far as
You can provide the guidance
Oh, yeah.
to the staff, right?
Sure.
But we do have some control.
Right.
You're talking about cell phones in particular, though. Or not?
More than that. the
This could be
Yeah,
Chromebooks,
computers of any kind.
iPads, anything we're using for educational instruction. Yeah. Again, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Weir, seconded by Mr. West. Any further discussion? Again, this will pass these policies on second reading. If no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. That brings us to our principal's report. Is that better? You're up front there, sir. You wanna go first?
Yes, sir.
First off, I wanna thank all of you for this opportunity to brag on my school, because that's what I'm about to do. So, just to start things off, as we all know, we're a couple of weeks into the school year, and like I discussed in the previous board meeting, I talked a lot about the goals that I had set forth for the school. And with that, I expected some natural pushback, whether it was from the students or parents or whatever it is, but I'm pleasant to report that there's been far little pushback, especially when I anticipated, because at the end of the day, I think everyone, whether it's kids, parents, etc., everybody wants to be held to a high standard and wants to be held accountable, but you gotta place it on them at the end of the day. And so I'm very encouraged regarding that. But speaking of goals, one of my goals was to have a 95% daily attendance rate every single day. If you don't know, 90% is generally considered a healthy attendance rate. And one of the goals that I also talked about last month was chronic absenteeism. We had a 21% chronic absenteeism. So that means around the 314 kids we had last year, around 63 or so were considered chronically absent. I mean, that's pretty poor. And so I think it's important not only to focus on improving that, but just getting kids a number to shoot for every day to strive for, that being 95%. We all know whether it's a job, whether it's a sport, etc., if you don't show up for work, it's hard to get better at it. And that goes the same for academics. And so I'm pleasantly happy to report that every single day of the school year, we have hit the 95% mark except for two. The first one was the day that I gave a school-wide hat day for hitting 5 or 6 days in a row. So they slacked on me when I rewarded on it, but that's okay. And then today was 94%. And so I can't get mad at that, because at the end of the day, it was 1% short, but it's well over that 90% threshold. So I'm very, very excited with that goal being met so far. Along with that next one, we talked about the ACT being a 20 average as a class for the seniors. We are well underway with our ACT prep during 3rd and 7th, and that's another area where I felt like we could utilize our time more efficiently, and I expected some pushback. And again, I'm pleasantly, able to report to you all that a lot of the kids are engaged, a lot of the teachers are engaged with it, and I'm very encouraged, and I try my best to drop in during those third periods. And of course, if you know anything about being a principal, you don't get to do those things every single day because meetings happen and phone calls and whatever, but I'm just very excited to see the engagement and the buy-in thus far into the school year. Ayers Foundation, I don't know how familiar some of you all with the Ayers Foundation, but they're a foundation that came in last school year. Due to our high poverty rate, we qualified for their services. And last year they did a tremendous job of signing up all of our kids for the FAFSA, for TN Promise, things of that nature, getting them signed up for school, whether it's TCAT, UT, the list goes on and on. I'm so happy to report that already all the seniors have applied for Tennessee Promise, and Ayers is a big role in that. So I'm thankful for them. They've already started meeting one-on-one with the seniors, and a lot of these kids, they come from broken homes. And so once again, this has been a tremendous resource to help them fill out these things that they otherwise probably didn't have the resources possible to do. And so they've been meeting one-on-one with them to discuss their goals, discuss their futures, start filling out scholarships and stuff like that. So I'm excited there. And they've got their first career fair at Tennessee Tech on August 26th. So again, they're able to be exposed to things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to be exposed to. So I'm very thankful for their services. Next on the list that I want to discuss is what I call moments in the classroom. And so Mr. McBride is our welding teacher. This is his second year. He had a couple students, Nixon being one of them. I think Easton was the other, if I remember correctly. They went down to the football field, and we had a fence that was starting to break down, and they actually repaired it with welding skills that they learned in the class. So I love especially your hands-on stuff where they can apply their learning and have pride in the building and the school that they go to and fix it. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Mr. Craig here is here, of course, and his students have begun learning basic shop skills in the ag mechanic class. So I've been trying to drop in there and seeing them working all the different tools from drills and soft saws, the list goes on and on. The last time I dropped in, they were building a gigantic logo of our Bulldog. And just so cool to see them learn and apply their skills. Speaking of FFA, I know they'll probably talk here in a little bit. They just had the FFA Back to School Bash this recent Tuesday. We had over 30 that turned out. It was a very good turnout. And be able to see especially these young ladies who you see them come in as freshmen and then see them as upperclassmen and see the leadership skills develop and then see them talk among 30-plus kids. I never would have done such a thing at their age, and that's a testament to Mr. and Ms. Craighead and the work they do for the FFA program. So I'm very proud of that program, what they do. Work-based learning students, if y'all don't know what that entails, that gives our kids an opportunity, whether it's 6th or 7th period, to go to work sites and be able to work and earn a grade for it and work on a portfolio. With the assistance of Nurse Mackenzie Graves, they were able to get first aid and CPR certified. So that's just another great thing that's going on. And we've already had 2 students that have earned industry certifications, specifically tutoring. So we've got 2 kids that go to the K-8 who are considering being teachers one day. I'd love to have in my building in the future. They are now officially tutor certified. So that's a great thing there. And then last but not least, sports. Golf and cross country, they have officially competed so far. Cross country this past Saturday, we had a kiddo that finished first, one that finished second, and 2 in the top 5. So I just tickled to death with that. The golf team had a contest today too, but earlier in the week they had a first place finish and a second place finish. So it's not just football and basketball and volleyball and softball and baseball. We're having success all across the board, and I'm excited for that. Speaking of volleyball, they'll have their first game on the 17th. It'll be on the road. Their first home game will be this upcoming Thursday for the 20th. I've also got a pep rally planned, and we're going to celebrate them, but it's also an opportunity to celebrate student achievement, because we've had so many kids that have passed challenge exams that gave them college credit, AP exams. Of course, we've got some FFA kids here who earn leadership awards in July. So not only we go celebrate athletics, which is justifiably so, but we're going to celebrate academics as well. And so last but not least, football. Their first game is the 21st. We'll have a jamboree tomorrow. And just like last month, I want to note that in my 4 years as coaching, we had a lot of success, and we've continued to have success, but we never had anywhere close to 40 football players. And again, that's just a testament to the program that's been going on there and the coaches that we have. So I'm just excited to report to you all that Clay County High School is just doing really well, and I'm very proud of it. I give all the glory to God and the incredible teachers and the kids that we have. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Mr. Ledbetter?
Well said, good job.
All right, people?
Obviously, it's been a busy start to school year, starting before we even had in-service. The teachers, headed up by Ms. Heather Clements, painted the walls of the hallway throughout the school. They went up about 4 blocks with purple, the next 2 are gold. So it looks really good. It's a lot of color in the room, or in the building. The theme to start the school year is level up your learning. So door displays and bulletin boards are echoing this with sports and game themes throughout. We held open house a couple weeks ago with a good turnout. We are down a few students due to some transfers and several going to homeschool, but I think we're only about 5 less than we were this time last year. We changed the way we did parent pickup in the afternoon, a lot of it because of the gym construction or the window construction, but it's been smooth. Officer Josh has redone our room and hall numbering system. He's put up new stickers, created a new school map showing the changes. Window construction is done, minus a little touch-up work on the gym door and some tinting to be done later. The gym floor is getting started. They were supposed to have already started, but the guy just showed up. But it's being done right now, so volleyball's having to play away games. Coach Edwards has arranged for them to practice a few days at the high school while it's out of commission. We held our first fire drill today, along with volunteer training after school. Had about a dozen parents show up for that. And then we had shutdown after our outside activities today due to the heat index. But I monitor and I announce every hour what the heat index is so teachers can make a decision.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Dr. T? Mr. Rowe?
Clay County Schools and all the teachers and staff want to say thank you, and we want to say congratulations to the following retirees: Mr. Richard Franklin, Miss Lee Ann Strong Hayes, Miss Lynn Smoody, Mr. John Denton, Miss Kim Upton. We want to say how proud we are of the years of service that all these teachers have provided to the students and families of Clay County. We want to welcome next month Mr. Kurt West, Mr. Matt Adams is here as our new board members, congratulations. We want to thank Martina Riddle and Whit Kazalkowski, and of course Abigail Shaw, but Abigail's still here. She's a senior this year. But we want to thank our other student board members for their last year of service. I want all of you to notice in your folder and to keep this handy for your reference all year. We will update it as needed. You have a complete list of all the faculty and staff of Salina K-8 School. Clay County High School is next. You have Hermitage Springs School next, the Central Office, Alternative School, Adult High School, Finance Department, Maintenance, Transportation. The bus drivers are on the page there with maintenance and all those. The substitute teacher list that took the class with Mr. Edwards is attached. Please notice that you have a county-wide coaching list, and this is the coaching list for the entire school year, of course, subject to changes as we need to, right, Mr. Edwards? So, you have just about all that we know about in your list, so keep that handy for your referral anytime you need anything. Any questions you have, let us know. And on the director's report, if you have time, go down to Salina K-8 School and just look at the new paving job. We're extremely proud of that. That has been such a positive thing for us. The parking had outgrown when we have ball games, graduation, any activities that we have at K-8. Hopefully this is gonna support the traffic we're having down there now. And the Hermitage Springs Window Project, Dr. Peoples we've attached a picture for what we call the storefront at the gym area. And it's basically finished except for some tinting, correct? And we're working on that, Ashley, and we're all working on that. The gym floor, as you all know, guys, Rob has worked himself to death this summer. Praters could not come before they're here now. We tried every way in the world to get them to come this summer. They simply could not arrange it in their schedule. So, everybody's doing the best they can do to get the Hermitage Springs gym floor completed. And Benji has already mentioned about the Clay County High School air conditioning in the gym. It's cool in there. And we want to thank, and Benji's got a presentation, but I've got here in my report, we want to thank board members Roy Henson and Todd Upton for your years of service on the Clay County Board of Education. We wish you all very well in the future. Come back and visit us. And Martina Riddle and Whit Kazalkowski are the two student board members that I want to recognize for their service last year. And guys, you all can look at this. We've been doing a lot of trainings, a lot of wonderful things going on. Board members, read this if you have any questions. Several of the supervisors are here. We can discuss anything you want discussed, okay? Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Abby?
Hey guys. A lot of people thought I graduated, but I'm back. If you'll have me, I want to talk about, serving another term as school board member. And, if I were to apply again, with two other members or another member, I'd love to do that.
I think, Mr. Carl's working on that, and so if that's something you're interested in, I think that would be wonderful. We appreciate your service last year and look forward to working with you again in the future as well.
And then I do serve as a FA officer again. We have 4 committees this year. They're called Growing Leaders. That's my committee. Ms. Shanley Rich, she has building community, so that's, mine is leadership, kind of growing leaders, from freshmen to seniors. Hers is community service. We have our PLOW, passing literacy onward with McKenna Bridges, and that is, representing ag literacy and promoting that for the students. And even we, try to visit the elementary schools during the ag literacy week to promote that to them as well. And then we have our school-wide community, or school-wide activities, which is Mr. Doug's Webb, who had football practice. So he's not here, but, he's really good at representing, what we do is not just in our club, but school-wide as well. Mr. Ledbetter pretty much covered it by back to school bash. We played some inside football. It was very fun. I am leadership degree that you can get in FFA. It's called a Greenham degree, and it's basically just like, instead of a green thumb, Greenham. And it's for freshmen, and it's basically an intro to agriculture and intro to FFA and leadership, and that's exactly what I'm gonna explain to them, and hopefully that'll help them fill that out a little bit better. But as far as FFA goes, that's pretty much it. I've loved senior year so far, and this is probably, like, I'm very biased, because this is the most proactive principal that I've had, and I'm very blessed to have such a good one. He is everywhere, like, every class period I swear he was in one. So we're very blessed to have a good principal, good vice principal, I love all my teachers, and, yeah, that's pretty much all.
We commend them for coming dressed in the FFA uniforms.
Yes, all of them serve on one of our committees.
Anybody like to speak?
Can you introduce yourself?
And I can speak about my committee if y'all like, and what we do for education.
Sure.
So as she said, I'm over Plow, and she explained the acronym of it. Basically, another thing that she talked about was us going and reading to the elementary schools, and we even try to go to Acres of Grace Academy for those kids also. And we set up a plan for pre-K through 3rd grade, and we make activities for them and let them get very involved, and we read them a book, because to understand agriculture and how much it impacts our daily lives and our economy and everything, we have to understand that education behind it. So I think that's very important. We also do a reading log, which the kids that participate in that will be entered into a raffle. So like our principal does, we're setting goals and we are rewarding good behavior, like education outside of the classroom. So those are some of the main things we do. I also have a workshop in the spring and just more stuff going on, but that's the basis.
Thank you. Mr. Crackhead, they've covered it pretty well. Do you need to say anything, sir? Again, thank you all for coming tonight. We always appreciate you guys, attending our meeting. Anything else?
I did bring buckets. I don't know who wants one. They're a good pinhole. I just pop them in my thing. But I did bring them from one, so if anybody wants one, don't have to get one. But I didn't bring them, but just in case anybody wants one. We do have them at the store.
Thank you very much. One housekeeping item before we continue. Our September meeting normally would have been September 13th, I believe. If it would please the board, one thing that we need to consider, if you recall, last year we came back fully to state insurance. And as part of that, open enrollment begins in October. So before open enrollment begins, the board would need to meet with the Teachers Association in a collaborative conferencing meeting, as we do annually, to establish those insurance premiums and have those in the MOU. Additionally, this year, our MOU actually expires, so the whole MOU will need to be considered as well. We have to do that every 3 years, I believe. So with the timing of that, and in order to facilitate the insurance pricing and everything, I would ask, if it pleases the board, to push our September meeting back a week to the 17th. I'm sorry, I said the 13th earlier, but yeah. So September 17th would be the 3rd Thursday of the month. That would give us some time to meet in collaborative conferencing a couple of times. I think it'll take a couple of times. One, to establish the insurance premiums, and then additionally to consider any other changes that the Teachers Association or the board might present for the MOU. If it please the board, we would start with moving our September meeting back a week. Would that give anybody any heartburn? That okay with everybody? So we'll push our board meeting back to September the 17th. Additionally, I think, we could entertain MOU meetings in collaborative conferencing, the Tuesday before, which would be September the 15th, and also, again, we'd need two, so September 15th, and then September the 8th. So, be that the second week of September, that Tuesday, September the 8th, and then September the 15th for collaborative conference. I know that puts a lot on everybody, but again, that will establish our insurance premiums and address any other issues or any other thing that needs to be addressed in the current MOU. Does that work for everyone? You don't have to be here for the MOU meeting, the collaborative conferencing, but I highly encourage it. Not only do we get to sit down with the teachers or a group of teachers, it's usually a lot of valuable information comes from that, not just in regards to the MOU, but working conditions, things that they're facing that honestly the board might be able to help with. So it's an informative time, helps us understand our insurance costs in addition to other things that the teachers, as part of the Teachers Association, might be facing as well. So if you can attend that, September the 8th, September the 15th, that's the 2 Tuesday nights before our regular board meeting on September the 17th. Again, it's highly informative, and I would appreciate it if you could. So if that suits everyone, that's what we'll do, and allow Ashley and our HR department to be ready for that open enrollment beginning in October. As Ms. Monroe said, we want to thank Mr. Henson for his time on the board. Mr. Henson served 4 years for us, and we're grateful for him. We have a plaque for his service, and we'll present that to him. And additionally, Mr. Upton, we're certainly glad that he's able to be with us tonight. We missed him for some time, but I know you are. We're certainly glad he's here. He's been a dedicated board member for 12 years.
Hey, I just want to say it's been an honor and a privilege. And we've done a lot of good things. I mean, a lot of good things has happened in 12 years of me being on this board. Good board, good. Man, we've educated students. We've got some of the best educators out there. I know it's helped get a jump start. They've been kingdom work. They spent all kinds of things went on in 12 years with our system. What an awesome system, what an awesome board. I thank all of you, and it's, like I say, it's been a blessing.
Amen.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your service. Don't be a stranger.
And we just voted on these things, CTE buildings, modular home. We've been blessed to have a finance director, crew, that put it all together, and everybody involved in all that. There's CTE and everybody's involved, and Mr. Monroe. There's a lot, we just get to vote. I know what goes on behind the scenes. And man, I'm telling you, we've been blessed with absolutely one of the best in her team, and all of them, you know, everybody up here. It's a good system. Don't nobody ever think it's not, because it is. We've helped them get out in the world. And I know we've educated and helped some of these kids get out there in an ever-changing world. And man, it's rough, but it's been good. Good deal. Keep it up. Keep it up. Lots more stuff to vote on coming up, I'm sure. Lots of policies, Rob Evans.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Again, thank you, gentlemen, for your service. It's been a pleasure serving with you. And don't be a stranger. Keep coming back. We did as a shout out to times past, we've got some subways back there for you, Todd.
Hey, man, it's been a while. Good to see you.
So if you guys can
See
hang
you, man.
around, we'll share
Guess you
some.
lose it this evening, maybe me at 83.
There you go. It's hard to replace that experience. We certainly appreciate both of you gentlemen.
I'm over it.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll say.